Alright, this is the more advanced way to hook up an electronic boost controller to our Camaro Twin Turbo kit. This is what I highly recommend for any of our customers. It is somewhat specific to the GoFastBits GeForce 2 boost controller. If you have another boost controller, you might figure out how to make this apply, but that's the boost controller we like. So what we're showing here is there's two different halves of this system basically. Going into the electronic boost control solenoid, we're getting pressure off of our plumb, which is a slightly higher pressure source than the intake manifold, and that is the science behind why all this works better this way. So we go into the number 1 on the solenoid from the plenum, out, teed into equal length lines that go to the tops of the wastegate. Well, this is the top even though it's hanging upside down. Over here is the top. And that is all that part of the system is. And when hooked up in this more advanced way, you want to have your sensitivity set to 0 because we're not wanting it to correct for boost. We're trying to make it slope a tiny bit of boost up instead of sloping down like a lot of electronic boost controllers do towards redline. Also, with these tile wastegates, just want to point out, a lot of people seem to not notice this or forget. They give you a lot of different options where to put these nipples, and we like the two nipples to be right next to each other pointing forward, and the extra holes, you have to put the plugs in the extra holes to seal up the chambers. If you don't put all of these extra plugs in the holes, you're blowing air through this line right out here, and you're not going to have any sort of boost control. So make sure you're reading instructions and doing things right. So pretty much that's that, and then this other side that goes to these higher nipples on the wastegate, which, because these gates are upside down, these are the bottom nipples. Then T's, equal length lines again, T's, and this line here just goes all the way up to the intake manifold. So that's a slightly lower pressure part of the system. So we're using slightly lower pressure pushing on the diaphragm to open, slightly higher pressure pushing on this side of the diaphragm to hold the gate closed. And that will give you your desired effect.